I mean, we had the pre-fight horns for a minute, but now the victory horns are back on, ladies and gentlemen, and they sound for Cory Sandhagen. Just goes out there and puts the boots to Deiveson Figueiredo in the main event of UFC Des Moines. Ended with an unfortunate knee injury, but as Cory Sandhagen said in his post-fight interview, sometimes the 50-50 position leads to a popped knee, and that's exactly what happened in the main event. We had a big finish there. Had a big finish in the co-main event as well. Reinier de Ritter hands Bo Nickal not only his first round loss, but then finishes him with a brutal knee to the liver in round 2. And what a performance it was for the former 2 Division 1 champ. As we welcome you to the UFC Des Moines post-fight show, I am Mike Heck, still here in Orlando, in a random part of the hotel in the upper lobby. So if you hear some 50s and 60s music going on faintly in the background, there's nothing I can really do about that. But we're here, and joining me to react to this wonderful event, which was a roller coaster ride to say the least, the one and only Casey Leydon. Where is he?
Right.
There he is. Still got the Joey Janela tank on.
Yeah. Hey, and Joey tweeted at me. He saw it.
He did?
Yeah.
Shout out.
Me and Joey. He's my boy.
Yes. So, Casey, I don't think I'm saying anything out of tune here. UFC Des Moines was a tough watch for a large chunk of it. There were some moments, certainly. We had the Bukayev finish, which is really nice. Jillian Robertson looked fantastic. Then we had the fun fight to open the main card between Jeremy Stevens and Mason Jones. And then it kind of went to Slog City for a hot minute. But then Daniel Rodriguez woke the crowd back up with the big knockout. And I think Daniel Rodriguez might actually be the MVP of this card, because without that happening, the fans in that building were just like, oh, give me a friggin' break. I was starting to feel bad for him. And then that just sort of set the table for the brilliance of RDR and then what we saw from Cory Sandhagen. So all in all, your reaction from the entire show, start to finish, what do you grade UFC Des Moines as a whole?
As a whole, overall, a positive experience. Mostly because we had questions, and I feel like we got a lot of those questions answered, in the sense of we know how good we saw how good Cory Sandhagen is. He kind of proved it again, and we got lots of questions answered about RDR and Bo Nickal, and we got some good knockouts too. So yeah, how many fights on this card? 13 fights? No, 12 fights. Couple, the fights didn't suck. They just weren't they just didn't blow you away. And unfortunately, it was my bantamweights kind of crapped the bed tonight in the sense of excitement. I love bantamweights, but all right. But overall, good card. It's just a little too many fights, but as long as the card ends right, we're all good. It's all gravy.
Yeah, and I was thinking about this because normally we'll give them a grade. So I'm an old man, so I'm used to being classes where you kind of graded on a curve a little bit, and sometimes you round up to the highest grade number. I'm going to give this UFC Des Moines a 79.7, which rounds up to a B-. And that's just because of how it ended. And I think that's a very fair score for what we saw tonight, because, man, the Juliana Miller fight was real tough to watch. The heavyweight fight was real tough. Misha Tate Yada Santos, wasn't the greatest fight. The bantamweight fights, as you mentioned, were not barn burners. But yeah, the night ended in a good way, so I think that puts it over the top. And I will say, I feel like I was in a much better position as a staff member being able to cover this UFC card as opposed to covering any of the boxing this weekend. Jesus Christ, man. Tough weekend for the ring. Sure, they announced Canelo and Bud Crawford, but outside of that, this was a horrific weekend for them. Really, really bad. Their writers and, the people who work for the broadcast team and all that stuff, they will put this over like the greatest weekend ever. It wasn't. So all in all, UFC beat boxing this weekend, as far as I'm concerned, and that's a good thing. So let's talk about Sandhagen, Casey, because he went out there, man on a mission, and to be fair, I think he got a little bit of an assist in round one from Deiveson Figueiredo because Cory looked great, but Deiveson was like, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do the thing you shouldn't do against a guy like Cory Sandhagen. I'm just going to keep going for a leg over and over again. And then Cory would beat the hell out of him for doing it. And then anytime Deiveson got free space, he just kept saying to himself, I'm just going to keep going for a leg. And Cory Sandhagen just kept beating the hell out of him. After round one, significant strikes. It was like 31-1 for Cory Sandhagen. And it was for ground strikes. I looked at it real quick, and I don't know if this is 100% accurate or not. Cory Sandhagen, 52 in ground strikes. What the hell are you doing here, Jed? Wow.
Oh,
And you're muted,
Well,
and I
I
didn't even
heard
know you were
you.
coming.
I heard you say you were like, "Hey, I was lucky I didn't have to cover the boxing." Well, buddy, let
Oh,
me
I'm
tell
so
you,
glad you're here.
you couldn't be more right. As someone who worked both boxing events this weekend, whoo boy, was that bad.
Well, I mean, let's talk about that. You're here, so we might as well get into it. You covered both nights for these are both ring cards. These are both turkey cards. These are both pumped up by everybody as the greatest things that will ever happen in the history of boxing. Boy, it
Wasn't great, Bob.
wasn't. Is this an F? Is this an F effort all the way? I mean, I think the Times Square thing was like kind of cool because you got to see the visuals on social media. It didn't seem like it played very well on television, especially when, there's more people at the Apex watching fights than there were at Times Square. But how do you grade the ring this weekend? What do you give them?
I mean, it's got to be bad, right? And like, I don't want to be harsh because it's a good idea, right? Like, some of the execution I think is on them. I think the way they handled Times Square was bad, right? What's the point of doing an event in Times Square? It's essentially a walled off private event, right? Like it should be something, you got to find a middle ground. It can't be full New Year's Eve. There are 10 million people who could all throw bottles or whatever on there, but you could find some middle ground between this is just in this area, but nobody can tell. It's not literally the only time outside of you like pointedly recognizing it because they were saying something, there was something particularly like notable about it, like they were trying to draw attention to it, is you could occasionally, like, this is still New York City, so like occasionally on broadcast you'd hear like a car horn. So like, but like that was it. And so this genuinely a very cool concept got turfed by some of their decisions, but they also can't help the other parts, right? Like the parts that really made this weekend bad are stuff that they don't have a ton of control over, right? Like this is, I swear to God, this is true because like I had to look this up and now I want to go get the exact numbers. So I'm super not like off here, but we all know what CompuBox is. They are the stat keepers for boxing, right? Uh, Let me get them exactly, but of the like 5 lowest punch totals in 12 round fights, 3 of them happened this weekend. Of the 5 ever since CompuBox has been doing this, that is absolutely batshit crazy because as the Devin Haney fight was going on, that like became a topic of the commentators who were like, wow, so this fight has a chance to set the record for the fewest punches thrown in a 12 round fight at any weight class. It didn't quite make it, right? And then immediately after that, the Ryan Garcia fight did the same thing. And then today, the Canelo Alvarez fight does, like, that is, the statistical likelihood of that seems insane. Like that is such, they took a big swing. This is supposed to be the grand event. And I don't even know what other parallel, like what this is, you setting up like your Super Bowl of events and like an actual meteor hits the stadium and all the teams perish. It is so catastrophically bad. And the viewing experience was thus awful. You were so I saw like two things that happened at not Kansas City, wherever that Des Moines this week. Like I already went back and watched the RDR fight, obviously, and I saw like a couple of other highlights, but I didn't get to see shit of that card. I guarantee you it was so much better than what we did this weekend, man.
Which commentary team was better, Friday or Saturday?
Friday was better. Saturday was I have a big leash for like how bad you can be in commentary. I'll call it out, but like almost everyone is bad at commentary in fight sports. It's a very hard job to do in general, and I have little patience. The commentary team tonight should never work again, and I would say to any of their faces, I would be content to be like, you should not be employed. It was terrible. The only person who was remotely good was Daniel Jacobs, who's not actually on commentary. He just like did the sort of Dean Thomas get brought in for a spot check every now and then. Like the Canelo Alvarez commentary, I don't want to call out names because you will know who they are. It is hard to draw any other conclusions beside like you got to be really charitable with thinking that this is all just how they feel and not like carrying a specific set of water here. They did really not even hyperbolically everything short of call William Skull a coward, like outright. And again, like I'm not here to tell you William Skull fought a good fight. He did not. He was in fact moving around, but like Canelo, it was so one-sided of like, well, William Skull's not fighting. And it's like, well, neither is Canelo. Like Canelo's throwing like the fewest punches in the recorded history. Like he threw like 140 punches over 12 rounds. Through, not landed, through. And the entire time they're like, well, he's dominant. William Skull needs to do more. It's like it was like watching. It genuinely would have been like watching Rose Namajunas, Carlos Esparza 2, and just being like, well, one of these people is the greatest fighter who's ever lived, and the other is a piece of shit who should probably think about self-immolating. Like it was so absurd tonight.
Tough scenes. Did you get to
It was
watch
really
the main
bad.
event? Did you get to watch the UFC main event between Cory Sandhagen and Deiveson Figueiredo?
So I got to see the ending and I got to see chunks of the first round. I was still doing boxing stuff, so I did not see, like, I don't know how it got to the ground. I just saw Cory beating the hell out of him on the ground. And then I don't know how it got to the ground in the second round. And then I did see sort of the transitions and the finish there. But the only fight I saw pillar to post was, of course, my boy, because obviously I was going to do that.
Yes, and we'll get there, so stick around, Jed.
Yeah.
But Casey, you're obviously very, very high on Cory Sandhagen, and this dude, he looked incredible tonight. He looked unbelievable, and it was like sort of a chef's
mean.
kiss type.
He looked mean. Did he look extra mean tonight?
Angry and pissed off tonight.
Yeah, which is
his post-fight speech was mean and awesome.
Yeah,
it was
man. That's
good.
a real shame. It's a real shame
great.
that happened. No, it wasn't. He's bad at 50. I'm better than him. It's not a shame. F you, Bisping. Like that's how you should treat dog shit commenters. If they would ever, like, they were never going to give William Skull a mic, but God, they should have. Just be like, hey, Chris Mannix, you have an issue with me? Why don't we settle this up right now? Because I will fist fight you because you like just straight up called me a coward by basically like insane shit. Way to go, Cory Sandhagen. That was fire.
Yeah. Dominic Cruz retired, so now Cory Sandhagen is taking the role of like, if you say something wrong, I'm just going to call you out on it. But with that and the performance, Casey, must have made you quite happy as a Cory Sandhagen fan.
You know, it's just like Jed was like with his what do you call him? Your middle grown son.
He's my grown medium sized son. I have two grown medium sized sons, fraternal twins.
Yeah. I love, just as a fan, I love fighters that are just so extremely dangerous and badass. But yet, if you saw them down the street outside of their messed up ears, you would walk right past Cory Sandhagen, would not notice that what a dangerous person he was. But God, I want to give all the credit to Cory, but what the hell was Figgy thinking? Dude, just look over there. He's got Ryan Hall in his corner. What are you doing that?
I didn't
It was
realize
just
that. I didn't realize
Ryan
Ryan
Hall's
Hall was there. What a
literally right
bozo
there.
move.
It's like, what are you doing? Like, and especially the first round, I'm pretty sure Figgy initiated all the leg attacks, which led to him, in my mind, getting 10-8 just from getting ground and pounded from Cory just being more annoyed than anything. Like, what are you doing going for my knees like that? You were gonna get crushed, and it was just, I don't know. It was one of the worst fight IQs I've seen from a high level fighter in a long time. That was just insanely. I don't know what Figgy was thinking, honestly, to try to fight Cory that way. And in the first round, he did get he got a great single leg takedown on Cory, but then Cory reversed it and then got on top, and then we saw the rest of the round. And then the second round, Cory got some takedowns, but then Figgy got another single leg takedown, initiated the attacks again, and it was just insane. I have no idea what he was thinking, but Cory took full advantage of it, and that was absolutely not a fluke injury or anything like that. That's what you do. You tear people's knees apart in the cage, and he's got Ryan Hall in his corner, and it was just so Cory's amazing. I don't know what Figgy was thinking. It boggled me kind of to the point that it almost took away from the victory.
He just kept doing it, and even
And
Michael
he kept
Bisping
doing
was
it.
like, "Why does he keep? What? Oh, what are you doing?" Like Figgy would have a nice moment. He got a takedown. He got on top, and then he was just like, "Yeah, I'm just gonna scramble right for the leg, like voluntarily." Bisping was like, "What? Why are you doing that?" So it was a weird performance. The ending, obviously, seeing Figgy getting carried back to the locker room is never good. But Sandhagen cuts the promo,
Yeah.
calls for the winner of the title fight between Merab Dvalishvili and Sean O'Malley, which is happening in about a month's time. Even volunteered to be the backup fighter. He's playing the Ian Machado Gary card. Let's be the backup fighter, try to get in there. Jed, let me ask you, is he next? Would you give him the next title shot? Would you make him the backup fighter at least? What do we do with Cory Sandhagen now? Is this because he just lost, man? It's not like he's on a 5-fight win streak right now. He has recently lost to Umar Nurmagomedov. Comes back, he's on a 1-fight win streak, which is not really a win streak. But this is a good win. Do we give him the next title shot considering what Bantamweight looks like and because it's a fresh matchup that we have not seen before between either of these two guys and Cory?
So we shouldn't, like if we're trying to be like a meritocracy, but that's not what this game is about realistically, so that's fine. So I'll split the difference because like I think my rational brain says no, he just lost. He's won one fight and the like he great performance, not taking it away. Like they don't like it when you win in injuries. Even if you caused the injury, they're not huge fans of that in general. So I'll split the difference and I'll say if Merab Dvalishvili beats Sean O'Malley when they rematch, then yes, let's do Cory Sandhagen because I know Petr Yan deserves it more. He's beaten Cory on a good win streak. Frankly, should be the guy fighting for the belt right now anyway. That fight with Merab was just so deeply uncompetitive that I'm not even that sad. Like if that fight doesn't get rebooked, like that fight was a clean sweep. So maybe it could go differently. He would deserve it. He should get it. But if Merab wins, let's at least try the new matchup. Maybe something fun can happen. But if Sean O'Malley wins, then I think they'll probably do a trilogy, which actually I don't think they will. I think that
I don't think
Merab
so.
will,
Yeah, no chance. I don't think
Merab will
there's any
call for
chance.
one, and Sean will be like, "No, I knocked you out. Bye." And then if Sean wins, for sure do the Petr Yan rematch there. I thought Petr Yan won, but a very competitive fight. You do it over 5 rounds for a belt, I think. So we can split the difference. If Merab wins, Cory gets it. If Sean wins, Petr gets it.
Casey, what say you? You in the same boat, or are you just let's just give Cory his chance? The man wants to be a champion. You could see it in his eyes. You could hear it in his voice. The melodious tones.
All right.
The man wants to be a champion. Casey, do we give him this opportunity after this performance tonight?
Unfortunately, I think Jed's right. I think that was probably the best call because Jan is right there too, and so Yeah.
Jan objectively deserves it more.
No, you're right. You're
Yeah.
right. But Merab Jan, we've seen that.
Just no
Merab
one
Cory,
cares to see it again.
yeah. Merab Cory, that's just an awesome fight. And obviously, if Sean wins, then O'Malley Jan. So I think that is the way to go.
Bantamweight's in a weird place right now. We got Merab as champion. Sean O'Malley is fighting for the belt, ranked number 1. Piotr Jan, number 2. Jan's fought both of these guys. Beat one, got absolutely run over by the other. Umar. We got Cory Sandhagen, Deiveson Figueiredo, Song Yadong, and like one or both of these guys have fought all of these guys. Marlon Vera, Rob Font, Henry Cejudo. The longest winning streak of any of the names I just mentioned outside of Merab is Mario Batista. He has the longest win streak of all of these guys.
Never heard of him.
No, he's coming off a loss.
Yeah,
what are you talking about?
And he's fighting Marlon Vera June
I believe
7th.
you're confused. He's coming off a loss.
Then we have Aldo, who's fighting Eamon Zahabi. Tyler,
who's actually on the longest win streak in the division.
Yeah. Marcus McGee, Eamon Zahabi, and actually Montel Jackson has 6 wins in a row now after his win.
Well, I guess Montel Jackson is tied with Jose Aldo for the most wins in a row in the weight class.
Well, I think that just says, just how competitive the top of the bantamweight division is. They keep fighting each other, and they all kind of beat the other guy. No one's kind of who's got the most
except Merab.
Except Merab,
who's beating all of them.
Who's the champ? Yeah. So, yeah.
I'll tell you. I think there's one name that could throw a wrinkle into all of this, and it's Pantoja.
Oh,
no, it's Pants. It's Pants. If they do Pants in Kaikar, France, which all rumblings seems to be the plan. If Pants beats Kaikar, France, and I would comfortably pick him to do so, I think he's just gonna go and move up, man. I think it's just time. Who else would he have to fight that he hasn't fought already? Yeah, Kyoji maybe, but it doesn't seem like the UFC's in any real rush to give Kyoji a title shot since they're putting him in there with Tamir Ulanbekov in his UFC return fight. But that's neither here nor there. That's the bantamweight division. Jed, please put Jed on the solo screen because
this is all Jed. Jed.
Literally why I joined this show. Literally why I joined the show.
You're not the boxing pundit now. You are the Reinier DeRitter pundit right now. After
it's like, Casey, I need you to put me on. Yeah. Give me the link, Casey. I need to be in the show. This is the happiest day of the year for me. You guys understand? You guys understand how happy I was? Like, I cannot stress. I was having the worst night. Like, today has been a bad day because I was watching the boxing, and the boxing was all bad today. Like, the undercard was bad. The main card was bad. Like, nothing good was happening in the boxing. I was so tired. I got myself an energy drink, and I was still like, dude, I might fall asleep live blocking these fights. They are so terrible. And then I look over to where I've got the UFC on because I'm working over here. I've got the UFC over here so I can check in, keep up what's going on. I was like, oh my God, now I have to blog this stupid Canelo. Like, go read my live blog on MMAfighting.com. It gets real nihilistic in there. I'm not live blogging about the fight because it's just like there's nothing to say. I'm talking about the dark places. It's awful. And then it gets exacerbated because I'm like, and I have to miss this. I have to do this stupid thing. And over here, my medium-sized adult son, who I honestly think I was the first RDR adopter in the space. I was like, yes, this goofy idiot is the best. And he's fighting Bo Nickal. I picked him. I picked him to beat Bo Nickal. I bet him to beat Bo Nickal. It wouldn't have shocked me if Bo Nickal beat him, right? Like, Bo Nickal is talented. But I was like, he can win this. And then suddenly I'm doing this. I'm here blogging. I look up and I'm like, oh, Bo Nickal took him down. Ah, that's interesting. And then I look up, I was like, oh shit, RDR apparently swept him. That's pretty cool. Now look at him win. And then the Slack's popping off and like, did Bo Nickal just lose a round? I was like, hell yeah. My boy is doing things. And then, Canelo throws one punch every 3 minutes. Nothing's happening. The commentary team is bad. Holy shit. RDR's kind of putting the boots to Bo right now. Bo doesn't like this. Oh shit! Oh, he knocked him out. Who saw the TKO coming? It's unbelievable. And then, Mike, to cap it all off, he did the thing. We love it when you do the thing. He did the thing. He's not going to get that fight, but A plus from and I got on the broadcast for one of the stupidest tweets I've ever made. Like, is the best. This is the best day. I'm so happy.
Yes, your tweet. My favorite tweet that I got on the broadcast was making fun of a heavyweight fight. I said, "Wow, this has gotten real middleweighty," and it got on the broadcast. This is like 3 years ago, when middleweighty meant something completely different.
Different, yeah.
This one was maybe my favorite MMA fighting staff tweet that has ever made the broadcast, which you didn't even know right at the beginning.
I know.
Pulling. There it is.
Yeah,
That's incredible.
Like there are times when I'm legitimately like, let me see if I can get on the broadcast or something. This was not one of those. This was me just being stupid excited about a very silly thing. People I haven't talked to in years have texted me, like old college buddies, work friends, were like, "Hey, I was watching the UFC. I saw your tweet on the broadcast." Like, yes, this is the tweet that got me there. It's so good. Like, we are very close to the greatest fight in the hit. Like, maybe not the greatest fight, but my greatest fight ever. Because I promise you, if RDR fights Dricus du Plessis for the middleweight belt, I will be in attendance. There's zero. I don't care if they put that fight on the moon. I'm going to the goddamn thing, and it will be the best day of my life. Oh, my two medium-sized silly boys are just out here doing big things, and I couldn't be happier about it. I was so ready to just like die blogging, and didn't matter. After that, I was like, whatever. Life is good. The sun is pure.
So that's a great speech. I think there's a new record for most exclamation points for a tweet that has ever made a UFC broadcast. That belongs to you.
Probably.
But what you just said has brought up a super important question, Jed, because if right this second an MMA genie came down and said, "Jed, you've done such great work. You covered the boxing events all weekend long. So we're going to grant you one wish, but you can only get one. You can't get the other."
I know exactly what you're saying.
Are we getting Dricus du Plessis versus Yuri Prochazka, or are we getting Dricus du Plessis versus RDR? You can have one, but you can never, ever, ever get the other under any circumstance. Which one you going?
That's literally the meanest question that's ever been asked
that's
to me.
Cruel, Mike. That's so cool.
That's literally the meanest question somebody has ever asked me.
In such a way, it'd be the greatest day of my
That's
life.
the
so I have to make
is
sure.
it in of hypothetical MMA questions? Just a personal attack. Oh my god!
Would you want all the pizza in the world, but you can never have ice cream again, or all the ice cream but never have pizza? It's not fair.
I think I have to choose DDP Yuri.
Wow.
But I don't love that. It's just I don't do this. Like, if you gave me those two fights, I would never ask for anything again in this sport. Like, if you just were like, hey, 2026, DDP is going to fight twice. He's going to defend the belt against fucking RDR, and then he's going to go up and fight Yuri for the light heavyweight belt and be like, cool, we've peaked. I'm done. I can't do better than this. So this will be the end of my career.
But see, I think I'm being actually really nice here because I'm guaranteeing you one when there's a real chance you could get neither.
Oh god!
In a realistic world, but I'm guaranteeing you one.
Either.
I mean, you're probably not getting either.
I think it has to be Yuri because I legitimately have more questions. As fun as it is, I think Dricus beats RDR. I think it can be fun and real goofy, and just like really, really goofy. But I do think Dricus probably beats RDR because he has the Hoss advantage, and that's a pretty special advantage to bring to the table.
I mean, look, we're
can
getting
you imagine that
closer.
fight though? Just think about how silly that fight would be. It would be so good. Even
the pre-fight press conference would be one of the funniest press conferences of all time. It would be like the funniest trash talk you've ever heard, and it would be incredible. Like it would be super fun. It really would be.
Oh my god, it's the best.
I love it.
I'm so happy that these, like, let's be clear, when I adopted them as my children, I just liked them because they're goofy. Like they're talented, good, but they're goofy. And goofy fighters are my favorite fighters. And them all being good is the best. It's like if they were goofy and like mid, I would still love them like my children, but it would be less fun if they were just like Kevin Holland or whatever. Like, yeah, good, but like they're gonna lose a bunch. But them all just being good right now is the best. It is the thing that keeps me going in this sport.
We have bonuses, gentlemen.
Ooh.
I can't
We have
play the bonus
bonuses.
game. I could not.
Is there-
I mean, other than RDR, I could not guess who's getting a bonus from
Is
this.
there a fight of the night?
Did you see the bonuses? There is
No.
not a fight of the night.
Okay,
Jeremy
no fight.
Stevens and Mason Jones got
Nothing.
hosed tonight, in my
Wow.
opinion.
Okay, so so RDR maybe
I
gets
must
two
be
bonuses.
right.
RDR.
Yes.
They don't like injury victory, so they won't give it to Sandhagen. Our new middleweight threat, Bakayev. I don't know how to say his name.
Azmat Bakayev? I forget. They said it like 18 different freaking ways. So
Yeah, Azmat Bakayev. Dude, that guy looks so good. I think that guy is like legit. Jillian?
no,
Wow, she didn't get one.
that's stunning that she didn't get one.
Jeez, yeah. I guess Quan
Sandhagen did get one.
Oh, he
They
actually did
give
get
it.
one. Okay, Sandhagen did get one. Good. He deserved it. But I just Rodriguez, I guess. D-Rod.
No, he didn't
No.
even get one. Quang Lee got the other one.
How did they
D-Rod
decide-
should have definitely got one.
I mean,
Oh,
Yeah, this is a
D-Rod
weird
winning,
set
by
of
the way,
bonuses.
was dope.
Yeah, because that was like
I-
he was the MVP of the event. He saved this entire card. It was
Yeah.
going.
I have no idea. I just know he
Down,
knocked him out,
going
and
down.
people seemed to think it was cool.
and then he
So
announced
Jeremy
that
Stevens and Mason Jones beat the shit out of each other. It was a great fight.
Yeah.
Fans loved it. Both dudes bled. It was fantastic. Then we had two middleweighty bantamweight fights that were just real tough scenes, like real tough. And then D-Rod like saved the day with a knockout that like woke everybody back up. And then that set the tone for RDR. And then that set the tone for Cory Sandhagen. So he probably should have gotten a bonus, but yeah. Jillian Robertson also should have gotten a bonus. She beat the hell out of and then retired Marina
Rodriguez. Yeah.
Like, that
Marina
was
Rodriguez never
that
got
was
beaten like that.
super impressive. Yeah.
Super,
That was
yeah.
incredibly impressive. So yeah, weird bonuses. And that's it. And by the way, I don't know if you guys just saw this. Turkey Al Sheikh just tweeted out that the Canelo versus Terrence Crawford fight on September 12th will be at Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas. It will be the first TKO boxing event. Dana White will be the promoter for that fight.
So
That is
seeing this
friggin'
now,
wild.
knew it was at the Allegiant Stadium because that was when they announced it, the thing. But but also like we kind of knew this. They had been sort of teasing that this would be the first TKO thing, and so I guess by definition that would make Dana the promoter. But like they've been kind of teasing,
Official.
yeah, this. But them doing it at Allegiant Stadium is sick. Like that's. I think the fight might not be sick, but it's going to be cool. It'll be a big, fun spectacle, you know.
Dana White, who said I won't do events at stadiums, but I guess just UFC events. Boxing, I guess, is okay, but not UFC. So we'll see.
Also,
September
I mean,
12th?
Allegiant Stadium's not open air, so like, why wouldn't they? That would just be very
Right.
silly for you
So-
to not do that.
So when's Guadalajara card? When's that card? It's got to be right around the same time, right?
I mean, they
It's the
usually
19th.
do. They usually do try and do it, but not if Canelo's going to be TKO. They're not going to counter program him, right?
It's September. It's September 13th. So the Canelo Bud Crawford fight is September 12th.
12th.
Day
Guadalajara is September 13th. Okay, so
Okay.
It's on a Friday,
Damn.
I guess.
Yeah,
that's a
That's
busy.
wild.
That's gonna be a busy ass
Pay-per-view's
weekend.
on a Friday.
that's going to be a monstrously busy weekend for
Holy
us.
cow. Yeah,
Whoa.
and
All
Dana.
right. No,
Go right to
Dane
Mexico
ain't
on
going to
Saturday.
Guadalajara.
You don't think so? He's definitely gonna go.
Yeah,
I mean,
probably
he can fly.
private
He can fly
jet.
private
Yeah,
the day of, but
yeah.
not pre-fight stuff.
Definitely gonna
Yeah.
go.
Oh yeah, no,
Yeah.
not he's not doing pre-fight stuff at all. No
Yeah.
chance of that.
All right.
Promote your card. Why?
That's a
Yeah.
Sean Shelby or Mick
That's an
May,
Anik thing.
whoever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Anik
I
did
mean,
my job.
Anik's doing the presser, no doubt
Yeah.
about it. But Dana will be there on fight night, and he'll do a post-fight presser. So, yeah. Mentioned D-Rod. Montel Jackson gets a win. Serhi Sadai gets a win. Mason Jones gets a victory in his comeback fight against Jeremy Stevens. Yana Santos defeats Misha Tate. Misha looked every bit of 38 in there tonight. We mentioned Azamat Bakayev knocks out Ryan Loader. Jillian Robertson, what a performance from her. She is just on a tear right now.
Yeah.
Called out Amanda Lemos. Love that. Quang Lee,
Good call
big
out.
win. Thomas, it was a great call out. She said, I'm going to
Yeah,
retire
good call out.
everybody. Give me Amanda Lemos next. Love that. Good win for Quang Lee. Very emotional. Thomas Peterson, wow. Very heavyweighty fight. Heavyweight overs are alive and well. And then congratulations to Juliana Miller, who
She's above
was
500.
out
She's
for a
back to
while,
above
came back.
500. 4-3 now, baby.
Now a 4-3 professional mixed martial artist.
Tough
so
winner.
good for her.
Juliana Miller.
Gets the win.
I'm
And-
the only one on staff who believes in her. I'm the only one.
Good for you. And by the way, that was a very heartfelt speech by her afterwards. You felt for her. And I felt bad for Yana Santos too. Gets this hard fought win. She beats her favorite fighter of all time and then gets booed out of the building. That was tough. Des Moines was pretty pissed off tonight. They were booing everything and everybody tonight.
Yeah.
It's crazy. All right,
Yeah.
let's go to the peeps. What do you
All
guys
right.
got? We'll take a few
Des
super
Moines-
chats and questions.
Des Moines should have been in Riyadh because they needed some people to do those motherfuckers. That's the
Golly.
thing. Like the Riyadh fights are tough too because there's not like the crowd's like 10 people or whatever. Like a very small venue, and so like the crowd's not even restless. Like all the fights were bad. They were degrees of bad. The Canelo fight was the worst by a lot. But
yeah.
like just the crowd. Like maybe William Skull runs a little less, or maybe Canelo tries a little harder. If there's just 30,000 people booing their asses off.
All right. Shout out. Thank you, Giovanni. Would love to see Cory get a title shot. However, none of us thinking Umar should get another chance. I thought he was beating Merab the first 2.5 rounds. So Umar's kind of the forgotten man here. I wonder who he's going to fight.
He's not forgotten.
point?
He
He has to
lost.
fight someone. Yeah.
Yeah, he's just not going to fight Merab
Yeah.
anytime soon.
I mean, it looks like he's going to fight Piotr Jan because Piotr got passed
Love that
over,
fight.
and I don't know that Piotr's not going to keep getting passed over. So that fight would make some sense.
Might forget
This is
me.
the matchmakers matchmaking bantamweight, though. So they might
It's true.
they might just throw Piotr Jan in there with like Eamon Zahabi if friggin' Eamon beats Jose Aldo on
Eamon's going to lose.
Saturday. Yeah, it needs to happen. It needs to happen. But
Umar could
Yeah.
fight like. Did Umar fight Song? Umar hasn't fought Song yet, has he?
no, they were booked, and then the fight didn't happen
they were
because
booked
he ended
and
up getting
fell
a
out.
title
So
shot.
that would be the other option if it's not Piotr. It's Song.
Yeah, Umar was in. I have a hand injury. I can't fight Song Yadong at UFC 311. Oh, Merab will give you a title shot. Oh, my hand is okay. I will fight for the belt on that same card now. That whole thing was
Hey.
so funny. But
Take
You got
title
a
fights
title
when they
shot.
come.
yeah, I like the Song Yadong fight. It makes a ton of sense.
All right. Thank you, Giovanni.
Appreciate you. RS40. Bo Nickal is not ready for top 20 guys. Andre Petrosky might get his wish. Also, what do you think of RDR's call it of Strickland? I think it's fun. So let
Hey,
me.
now, can we just be honest? No shame in
Please.
losing to the second best middleweight on the planet of Earth. So Bo Nickal's not ready for top 2 guys, not top 20 guys. He
That was
ain't
a
ready
typo.
for
That was a
RDR,
typo.
and he ain't ready for Drickus
Come
Duplessis,
on.
and there's nothing wrong. Maybe he can beat other guys. He just can't beat the best.
Do you like the Strickland call it? At first I thought it was like
I think it's
real
decent.
silly,
I don't see why not.
but now I think it's funny in hindsight because the way he did it was so
See, the way he
brilliant.
did it was just good. That's
He's
why.
just like,
This
hey,
call is not going to work, but the
so
way he
Bo
did it.
Nickal, that guy, he's your best American wrestler, right? So now I want your best American striker. And I was like, who's he talking about? Then he said Sean Strickland was the best American striker. I was like,
But that's
okay. Is there any chance Sean Strickland takes that fight?
probably not, because I don't know. Izzy's talking about fighting him. That just feels like why would he want to fight RDR when
And
he could
Whitaker
fight
wants
Izzy
that
again?
fight. Whitaker wants that fight. So
I mean,
those
Whitaker
are
would
just
take that
bigger
fight
names.
for sure. Oh yeah, Whitaker.
That might have been
Yeah,
that might have been the
both
bigger
of those are
name.
bigger
Might have
names.
been the better name.
Both of those are bigger names, but I just thought it was a funny way to do it. Because I was like, when he started, I was like, who is the best American middleweight striker? I was like, oh, I guess Sean Strickland is that. But
By default.
instead,
Someone's got to be.
he'll get the other one. He's going to get the other one. It's going to be Jared Cannonier, the other best American middleweight striker. Oh my God. If he beats Cannonier, like we could just put him in a title fight. It would be so good.
Yeah, but Bakaev's got to get Cannonier because he's like, I don't want any more fight night cards. I want to be on pay-per-views and big events.
Look,
And
RDR's a big event guy now. Come on.
Well, not RDR. Bakaev's going to get Cannonier at the Apex. Like, there's no doubt about it. That's going to be his next fight. So RDR, he knows ball. He knows how this whole matchmaking things work. When Bakaev says things like that, that means he's guaranteed an Apex fight next against a Cannonier-esque type character.
If it's a main event, though,
Which
it makes
means
sense,
maybe
though.
Strickland's open for him. Yeah.
I mean, look, if he could get Strickland or Izzy, like those would be incredible for RDR. I don't think he's going to get either, but God, it'd be so good.
I know we're kind of joking about the Bo Nickal not ready for a top 2 guy, but is he ready for a top 20 guy?
I mean, he did just lose to a top 20 guy.
But he lost to number 2. He didn't lose to. He lost.
True.
Yeah, technically, he is top 20, but
yes,
could he fight? Could he fight? Who's number 15? I can't think of a name.
Can we do the Mearshart fight now? I've been wanting Bo Nickal versus Gerald Mearshart since Bo's first UFC win. Like, that's the litmus test. We skipped right over the GM3 test.
Here's the thing.
Or we give him Edmund Shabazian because he'll kill Edmund Shabazian.
Here's the thing. No. Because what we learned tonight is what I said on our preview show, Casey, and what I've been shouting from the rooftops for years, and certainly with regard to Bo Nickal. Bo Nickal lost tonight, in part because RDR is the second best middleweight on the planet. But also, that's really the first real piece of adversity he's ever faced in a cage fight. Like, oh, here's a dude who did not go away and brought real offense to bear against me. Not just was durable in the face of my offense, but brought genuine threat to me. He reversed me on the ground. That should be my safe haven. That's bad. Oh, he's punching me in the stomach and the face, and I don't like that. And because I haven't physically fist fought people enough, I have trained, I have done this, but I have not just actually done the work of fighting human beings. I react poorly when I get needed. Like RDR being like, yeah, I hit him and I saw I didn't like it, so I just kept doing it. Like, that's a guy who's fought a bunch of dudes and knows how to fight dudes. I did this thing. He physically reacted to it. I spammed that, and then he died. That's how he has fought a bunch of dudes and Bo Nickal hasn't. I don't need Bo Nickal to fight Abus. I don't need Bo Nickal to fight Edmund. I need Bo Nickal to spend the rest of this year fighting dudes. Pick random ass guys and get him in there 4 times to learn how to fist fight.
Are those dudes even in the UFC? I mean, are they gonna have to like
Contender Series signees? Just pick them.
Yeah, because
that far? Okay.
Yeah, dude, he does not need to be
back
fighting
where he started
names.
Almost.
Yes, because he never did what he should have.
I agree.
Like, he tried to shortcut the race, and like one person in a generation can do that. Like, and even then, there's still speed bumps. It's Rocky. Like, they should have. When they did the Contender Series thing, it was the right call. Stay here, win a couple fights. But they did it twice, and they were like, okay, now we'll go. Like, no, just spend the rest of this year, spend the next 12 months, fight 4 to 5 times against C-level Contender Series signings. Kill them and learn how to fight.
Woodburns.
Exactly.
Woodburn, yeah. More about what bringing him in for
Maybe
one fight. That's
Yeah,
it.
maybe slightly more durable, but like
But
people who
listen,
can give resistance, but like just learn how to fist fight. He doesn't know how to fist fight. He knows how to fist fight me. He doesn't know how to fist fight other people who know how to fist fight.
like one of the biggest parts about fighting is just having that poker face, and the fact that we
Yeah,
at home we could like, ooh, Bo's not happy in there. Like we shouldn't be able to see
dude.
that. Like we should not know that. The
Yeah,
fighter in there should know that, but us at home, like, yeah, I 100% agree with you. Like yeah, he needs to learn the sport of fight. No, not the sport of fighting. Yeah, just needs to fight more. Yeah, you're right. Just needs to
just
fight more. It's
nobody's
different.
good at any activity if they don't do it. Like nobody is just like you don't like you practice for football, but you go play football and it's not the same. You just have to do the thing, and he hasn't done it.
All right.
Where's Jordan? What's Jordan Wright doing these days? Let's bring him back. That's like a perfect. That's the
That's
perfect
A
opponent.
plus,
A plus.
A plus.
All right.
We got
Thank
we
you.
got, we
Our
got
40.
fans in the background.
Yeah.
We got fans in the
Yeah.
background.
All right. We got
I
a few
mean,
more super.
you see a random guy with a light and a microphone just sitting in the lobby. People are gonna stop and look for you. So
100% you're going to.
there we go. It's yeah. Shout out. All right, what else we got? So people forget. Man, Bo Nickal called out Hamzat. So let's be clear about all of this. It's gonna be a rough few weeks for Bo Nickal. He needs to probably stay off social media for a little bit. It's gonna be a tough time for him, and we'll
Yep.
leave it at that.
Here is the thing about I will give him, I agree with the core concept here. If you're gonna do it, you can't middle ground it because then this happens, right? Like you
Yeah,
can't if you just fight Hamzat and lose, then you went so high up that everyone will just be like, well, okay, he shot for the moon, right? But like RDR is not the moon. He's my moon. He's my moon and my sun and my stars. But like for everybody else, you just lost RDR and now you're gonna take it in the teeth. So like the Hamzat thing, I think it's funny. That's better than what how he has managed this. Like the people telling him have led him astray, in my opinion.
All right. Thank you, Slito.
he's my moon. He's my
He's
star.
my moon, my sun, and my stars.
Is RDR the
Clip
middleweight
that,
goat?
Casey. Oh yeah, man,
Yes,
come
he
on.
is. He is forever
So middle.
the middleweight champion. There will never be another champion.
He's
He
the
is
best.
retired. Yeah, we're retiring the title. It is his for life, and he is. There'll never be a better one. So, yes,
Uh, I just want to make it clear to people who aren't really don't know much about RDR. He has 2 losses. He's undefeated at middleweight because we don't acknowledge the losses to Anatoly Malakin because Anatoly Malakin is not a middleweight and could never weigh 185 pounds. If you've seen that man, you'd be like, yeah, he could never weigh 185 pounds. One championship, they get a little nonsensy at times, and this was one of those times.
All right. Another super chat from Giovanni.
would rather listen to Jed talk about taxes than watch Haney fight again. He had me fooled with the Loma fight. Yowzer,
Dude. I mean, that's like real though. Haney is like had one unbelievable performance and still good, but oh, that fight was awful. Did y'all watch that Friday at all? It was bad.
I watched a round of it and I was like, I gotta go. I'm
Oh,
off the pot.
you saw one round. You literally saw
Yeah.
all 12 of them. It was bad. It was worse than the Canelo fight, but I mean, it's close, but it was worse.
I got a lot of text. I woke up to a lot of text messages this morning of friends of mine who paid for that pay-per-view and were friggin' livid about it. Like they were livid.
I believe it. It passed the mom test for me. Like I had people being like, "Hey, what's going
Really?
on?" Like, yeah, because it was just not like about the fighters. They had no idea really who Ryan Garcia is or anything like that. But it was just like they're doing a boxing event in Times Square. That is a unique big thing, and so like most of them didn't buy the pay per view because I was like, if you want to, like, it would be cool. You should do it. I'm going to do it, but I don't know that any of them did, but had any of them, they would have all been livid. If you were like coming to this as an entry point to your new boxing fandom, I don't that you're not coming back. You are not returning. So tough scenes for boxing this week.
Yeah,
Yeah.
when I said I watched like one round, I was really just watching to see what it looked like, and I was expecting something big, and they somehow made Times Square look small.
It's very small.
Like
Yeah, because they just walled the whole thing off.
I was like, why is this in Times Square? I mean, yeah, they'll have a couple outside shots, but like that's not what I'm seeing though. I mean,
The
it's
only
the
like
same.
cool thing they did is the intros. They could use the street to get you up there, but then that's also like not that cool.
Yeah, I mean, in my mind, I was expecting like no, like New Year's Eve in Times Square, but a boxing ring, and that was
Exactly.
nope. I, it gave me it's a little different, but it gave me Fight Island feels when we first were Fight Island, and it's like okay, it's in like a little tent with a couple palm trees on the back. I don't know, but yeah,
Yeah,
same feels.
I think that's a really good analogy.
Thank you, Giovanni.
Spencer, Jed with an epic tweet on the broadcast. I was an RDR fan before, but this took it to another level. Jed, I have to imagine RDR versus DDP is but a dream for thee. How does that fight go? I mean, you kind of touched on this, but
Again, yeah.
let's just say it. How does it go? This is the preview show. DDP and RDR are fighting tomorrow. What's the official prediction?
The official prediction is that everybody wins, and I love them both equally. And whoever wins, I am Rob Lowe with the NFL hat in the stands. Right, I'm not. I'm rooting for sports in that particular fight. Uh, my gut says DDP wins. It would be funny because RDR is like he's not a hoss, but he's quietly quite physical because he looks so gangly and weird, but he's actually just enormous. Like he's huge. So even though he doesn't like look all that, like he was much bigger than Bo Nickel.
Way bigger.
Um, RDR is like quiet big, whereas DDP is ostentatiously like large, and I think he does have like more natural hossitude to him. And so that is probably the deciding factor because like both men are kind of wonky strikers who DDP is better and can certainly be more effective on the feet, but like RDR can also and certainly be effective in the clinch as we saw there. The grappling would be fun. DDP I don't think gets nearly enough credit for the like how good of a grappler he is, particularly offensively. And so that would be super fun if they did sort of get to scrambling around. Ultimately, I think DDP is the better athlete, and so that would be the deciding factor. But I love them both equally, and I desperately hope that I get one of these matchups. And if it's this one, that will be I will attend. If either of those fights get booked, or somehow an RDR versus Yuri fight gets booked, I'm going. I do not care where the event is. I'm attending.
Thank you,
It
Spence.
would
Oh,
that fight looks like a sumo match, but with strikes. Just two hosses just colliding, and then there would be like an occasional strike, and they'd be like, "Oh, that wasn't good enough," and they would back up, and they would collide again, and there'd be a couple of strikes. It would be so fun.
Oh, I need more guys like them to arrive in the sport.
Yes.
just
RD,
real
yeah,
weirdos.
yeah. RDR is so deceptively big.
He's
Like,
Yeah,
enormous,
he's
dude.
big.
yeah,
He's
yeah.
gigantic.
I mean, I don't know if
That's why the
in
Kevin
terms
Holland fight, I was like, he's gonna kill Kevin
like
Holland.
He's a terrific rehydrator. My God, he looks 35 pounds heavier every single
yeah,
time he fights.
I was surprised at how much bigger than Bo Nickel he looked. I knew he would be bigger than Bo Nickel, but I was still like, geez, dude.
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh
It's
yeah.
wild.
Way bigger.
Another super chat from Spencer.
Fun to watch Corey pick his shots with a cerebral fighter. Hear a lot of people bring up an O'Malley matchup, but don't know if I've heard a breakdown of that fight. How do you all see that going? If
Uh,
Sandhagen fought O'Malley,
I would pick Sandhagen probably. I
yeah,
wouldn't be like
same.
massively confident, but Sandhagen has the grappling as well and is very competitive on the feet with Sean. And so just more tools. Not that Sean can't grapple, but Sean's not going to offensively grapple. And I think Corey as we saw tonight, has really added that to his repertoire.
Yeah, I'll be pretty confident of Sandhagen, but Sandhagen just has to get to that fight though. If they make the fight, I believe he can win. But something just always happens. You run into Umar, he runs into Jan, runs into TJ Dillashaw. So we'll see.
Aljo.
Aljo, yeah. Something
Yeah.
just yeah. But this, I don't know. I'm hoping. Super chat from Steven.
Boys, one, if Lil Heathen goes back to BKFC pay cut, he was talking about Eddie getting $2 million. Two, from the free fight Q&A, do you think UFC should scout female college wrestlers to beef up those divisions? He's going back to BKFC and Steven's gonna get some money. BKFC needs guys. They need, not all the time, but they have to. BKFC Clearwater was a fine watch, I'm sure, but it probably got nothing on in terms of like pay-per-view and subscribers. You need to have like at least 2 big BKFC cards a year that have names that will make them money. Like you need a Knucklemania and then you need one more big one. And you kind of have to have Jeremy on the roster to do that. So I don't think he's going to get 2 mil, but I think he's going to get more money than he got fighting Eddie. Yeah, I think he'll probably get more money than he fought tonight. So I think he'll be happy. But Jed, should the UFC scout female college wrestlers to beef up those divisions?
To some extent, yes. I think in general, that's obviously a clear pipeline to fighting just because it translates. Men have been doing it for, I don't know, 20 some odd years at this point now. And that's not a cure all though, is the issue, because like that's what Bellator did. And they developed talent. Did they develop that many stars? Aaron Pico, but Aaron Pico wasn't a collegiate wrestler. Aaron Pico was a freestyle and Golden Gloves, but really a freestyle wrestler, and a very unique case. Like how many of the scouted, the people brought in under the Bellator talent development program functionally panned out in like meaningful ways? Because also, and like this is painting with a very broad brush here, so I recognize that. College wrestlers tend to turn into fighters that the UFC are less inclined to support stylistically. Just phrase like they are going, by and large, will be more grappling focused, which is less interesting to the average fan base. I think it would be a good place to start, particularly as far as, female fighters go, just because any female fighter in a combat sport is like somebody that you can maybe turn into a fighter, which is great. But I think they need to make one of 2 decisions, which is we're going to let this die and stop caring about it, which would suck, but I could understand. Or they need to actively develop it. And scouting like some collegiate wrestlers is not like, it needs to be a ground up talent acquisition program, because there is not a natural pipeline in general for female athletics. Like it is much less than male athletics. Where like straight up, if you just look at the talent who gets into MMA, like from a male perspective, most of it comes after they failed elsewhere, right? Like, like I grew up playing soccer and then I kind of washed out of soccer and I was looking for a different physical activity and I've seen fighting, or, I went to the gym and sort of fell into this. That pipeline is much smaller for female athletics in this country and internationally. And so you need to be much more proactive. You're going to need to develop outside of that. I would strongly suggest that the UFC would be better to just look at kickboxing like that and start pulling from that ranks, but also just talent development. Like just be like, ooh, who are people with personality? Let's see if they can fight. Maybe that anything they can do, because there are no wrong answers. They need to shoot as many bullets as they can at this because their female divisions are dying.
The NIL deals or whatever, they sign like Bellamy or 2. That's what they need to do. Find a compelling D1 athlete that has 5 million followers on social media and be like, yo, we'll pay you a bunch of money to lock you down under contract. We'll train you to fight. We'll send you to any gym you want on our dime. Let's see if you could do this, and to just develop them. You know, just develop them. Have they need want amateur fights? Give them amateur fights. But you have LFA, you have tight, you have all these promotions that you have cards on Fight Pass. Just chuck them on there and just give them fights if they want to do it. So not everyone's going to say yes, but there are some who understand that their athletic career is going to end after college. Now it doesn't have to be that way. Go and scout. It doesn't have to be even be wrestlers. It could be the best
Yeah.
javelin thrower that's
Yeah.
super fun on social media, or some sort of weightlifter or track and field star who looks good getting off the bus. That's like very muscular and could be a star. Like this is what WWE does. They take like talented D1 athletes and they turn them into wrestlers. Yeah,
Yep.
they turn them into pro wrestlers. Some make it, some don't. But
Just
I think
know
you
what?
got to try something.
Yeah, grab those athletes, and if they turn out to be good fighters, cool. If they turn out to be good wrestlers, just send them down the other hallway. Same company.
If you
Same
sign
company.
35, if you sign 35 of these people to these deals and 3 of them pan out, that's pretty damn good.
Yep.
That's pretty good.
Honestly, and this, you know, a little bit of speaking from ignorance here, so bear with me if I'm way off base. You would probably have a fairly successful hit rate of just taking like female wrestlers that didn't work out, like professional wrestlers, and just reversing it instead of being like, "Ooh, here's an MMA fighter who could go do wrestling." Like, okay, I mean, way back in the day, that was like half of pro wrestling just sort of did MMA at some points, but like, I struggle to think that like the 25th best WWE female wrestler couldn't get wins at like some level with a little bit of training because they are athletic. And then you're also getting somebody who knows how to be a performer, which you certainly need.
Which they
You
need.
know, be a star.
Yeah, you got to find the right woman, but I see what you're saying for sure.
I'm not saying to be champions, but like, there's no non-disrespectful way to say this. There are many women currently in the UFC who are deeply unathletic, like, and are just there because they want to do this. They're there to compete, and they try hard, and they don't have to overcome like that many people to get there. And so, if you take somebody, you know, who can do a whatever the backflip off the turnbuckle is called, that's a very athletic person. You could probably teach them how to kind of fist fight.
Thank you, Steven.
All right. Anything else? Whatever else we got.
Let me fly through these.
Jerome, they should book Figgy versus Cejudo, and both should retire afterwards. You think they'd fight each other?
I don't know.
Is that a fight we want to see?
I'd be super down to see that fight.
Yeah.
I mean, I think they're buds, so I don't know.
I think Figgy should go back to 125. I've thought it for a while. I thought that this was somebody slacked it in our Slack, and so I don't remember which of you, if it was you, if it was Damon, if it's AK. I felt this way that like Figgy had this fun run, and we were all pretty excited. And the whole time I was like, I remember Rafael dos Anjos having this run, and it was like, it's not bad. It's certainly a good run. He's a great fighter, but it's also like a little bit of smoke and mirrors. Like if he sticks around this weight class, he's not going to like win as much as he did at the other because it's just not his optimal weight class. And I feel that way about Figgy. Like he can obviously get good wins, but his best weight class is 125. If he can make the weight still, I'd like to see him go back.
Yeah, he's top 10, top 15
That's
at
fair.
35, top 5 at 25.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, now there's a new, like, I would love to see the Pants fight. I'd love to see a Kyoji fight. Like, I understand why it made sense to leave at the time he did, obviously. I think it makes sense to go back and let's do that now.
All right. Thank you much.
Connor, not trying to be a hater, but Bo might want to reevaluate his MMA career. He's going to take some serious damage if he doesn't evolve his game. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of what we talked about earlier. The man's just got to fight. Like, you can't be fighting once or twice a year. You got to fight 3 or 4 times a year. You got to just get after it.
And there's one other, like, really key piece to this, and I'm not suggesting that this is true with Bo Nickal, because we don't know. Like I'm not willing to say convicted off of one performance. The single biggest differentiator to being a good fighter or like even just a capable fighter is your ability to get hit. Um, and like that's just been true for the existence of the sport. Like there are plenty of uber talented people. They are in gyms across America. Casey, I am certain that you have like gone into a gym because I've done it. I don't know for as long as I trained, where there'd be like a guy be like, "How are you not like a prof? You are so good at this." But live bullets is different, and if you just can't get hit, if you can't do it, you can never be it. That's the first time we've really seen Bo get hit like meaningfully, and he didn't respond well, and that might just be because it's the first time. But there are just some people who can't, like they are not physiologically built to get punched in the face in this way because it's wrestling is hard, it's physical work, it's not the same as getting in a fist fight. They're just different. So that is a concern. I'm not at all saying that he's done, but like, yeah, genuine concern.
I think Bo's next fight will be maybe the most important fight of his career.
It's a pretty big one.
Yeah, the next one. Because this one, like, okay, maybe it's RDR, the second best middleweight in the world. He didn't know that. So, yeah, we'll find out how he does against the 30th, 40th best middleweight in his next fight, hopefully.
It's true.
Fitzy with the say hello to a real contender. I didn't even hear that.
Right.
Was that for
RDR, I assume?
I guess. Either that or Cory. I don't know. I didn't watch this event, so I don't know.
Yeah, I didn't hear that. PSA John Jones is a duck. Shout out to Luke.
Is he a duck or is he a chicken? Yep. Come on. What?
Same.
Same. All
right. They're both feathered.
Anything else?
Yeah, you ostrich. Got a couple more super chats. We'll fly.
I want to live 16 again. Home Tate to double retirement.
Well, Tate's gone, so.
Is Tate gone? Did she retire?
Oh, I'm sorry. Home.
Oh, I was going to say, did Tate retire?
Hey, she signed with GFL. She's a free agent. They can make that fight.
Honestly, that fight is the most sensible fight that I've ever heard.
It's been like, sensible for 4 years.
I mean, it's been sensible, but if they didn't want to retire, but like Miesha Tate, does she really want to keep fighting? Like just be like, hey, Holly, come back for one fight. The two of you run it again. Big retirement. Yeah. We'll give you video packages. You will actually both deserve them and be in the Hall of Fame. Holly is. Miesha's not yet. Like, that'll be fine. Like, that makes all the sense in the world.
Yeah. Just people just, I don't know.
Can't wait to see Jordan Levitt shake that butt. Okay.
Or is this?
He's booked. He is fighting. Who the hell is he fighting? I saw this. Let me look it up real quick. He is fighting Kurt Holloway, May 31st. Oh. So it's coming soon.
Apex?
Oh my God.
That is at the world's most famous Apex, I believe.
That's such an Apex fight, yeah.
Shout out to Daniel
so did we get a weekend off in May?
Not next weekend, but the weekend after, I believe, is a weekend off.
So we get Apex card, weekend off, Apex card. Then June, no
Apex. Yeah, not after 314. The week after that, I think is a week off.
Yeah. Yep. After the fight.
Shout out to Daniel JG on Twitter who commented on one of my things, and I didn't even realize this. DDP versus RDR is Boer versus Dutch. So just Netherlands all day, baby. Let's go. No, I think maybe I just really like fighters from the Netherlands. Maybe they're all just very silly geese, and that's why I like them so much.
Steven, last one, boys. Per UFC contract, you fighters need to be offered 3 fights a year. So has Aspinall been getting paid this whole time? Have a great sleep. I think you know the answer.
Contracts are suggestions.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially when you're independent contractors
Yeah.
and not actual employees of the company. So, yeah, I don't. I mean, maybe he was offered John 3 times.
I'm sure he's been offered it plenty
Really?
of times. I'm sure he said yes every time.
Yeah, he's been offered
Yes.
this. Yeah, the UFC. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Who loses first, Marab Bilal or Ankalaev?
Uh, I'll say Bilal, but it's him or Ankh. I can't imagine it's Marab.
All right.
Yeah, I don't know. I'll say Ankalaev.
Oh, all right.
Thoughts prediction for Klein Gamrot?
Christ. Gamrot's probably going to win a split decision, a grappling heavy split decision.
That MMA decisions will have 22-6 for Klein.
Dude, Mateusz Gamrot might become one of my guys, just not because of the way he fights, but the way his career is deeply silly. Like, he was a backup fighter, and while guys like Colby get to fight for the belt, he fights Ludovic Klein. It's like, he is doing everything in his power to call people out. I'll fight Armin again. I'll fight Charles. I'll fight Ilya. I'll fight anybody. And they're like, okay, well, it's the meme. It's the whatever Pawn Stars meme of best I can do is Ludovic Klein. It's just like, God damn, dude. They hate this motherfucker.
I mean, he did. They gave him Dan Hooker and he lost.
He did, but he was fun in
It
that
was super
fight.
exciting.
He was
fight.
fun. He was very
It was
fun
a
in that
great
fight.
fight.
He didn't do Gamrot things. He was super fun, competitive fight. And then they're like, all right, man, fight Ludovic Klein now. We're not going to do you a favor ever.
We're good.
Good. Hit the music. We're
We've
out of
gotta be
here.
Good. It's 2:30.
Yeah. Jesus Christ. Thank you all very much. We appreciate it.
Tonight rocks.
AK will be. If AK is going to do on to the next one tomorrow. He's going to do it solo. So send your predictions to him because I'll be driving back home from Orlando, so I will not be on the program. But AK, I'll be live next week with AK, and then we got a pay-per-view week. We got a very busy week ahead. UFC 315, 2 title fights, pretty fun main card for the most part, and stick with us. MMAfighting.com, terrific website. For Casey, for Jed, I am Mike Heck. Thank you for watching. Have a great night, or maybe good morning, depending on where you're at. Bye-bye.
Bye.
RDR forever, boys. Love y'all. And I love my medium adult sons.